quite a few bees. They're really, I haven't seen so many. It's Saturday the 13th of June, and in Scotland at this time of the year the rhododendrons come out. They come out for about a month, maybe 5-6 weeks, and we've had lovely weather, and so this bush is really blooming today, and it's a pleasure to see it. This is the southwest of Scotland. It's a place called Girvan. It's very beautiful, and I'm running a small club here. It's called the East West Bridge School. At the moment we're furloughed, we're not doing classes, but we wish to start again quite soon. My school bridges the gap between the Western chivalric tradition and the Oriental traditions. Not so easy to do, but I'm doing my best. Today I brought a replica Chinese Taoist sword. It's a defensive weapon, and in actual fact the Taoists had a love of nature, a love of quiet places, the countryside. Of course they would also integrate their lives into the rest of Chinese society, but traditionally the Taoist sword was strictly a defensive weapon, because in medieval China and the early kingdoms there wasn't such a well-developed police force, so if you were travelling around you had to be able to defend yourself. The sword is light to use, the blade is fine. This is the cutting part from here to here. A beautiful dragon pattern follows the midpoint of the steel. Here we have the yin yang symbol, 2 dragons, and the bagua, the 8 diagrams. This is the pommel, of course, and the wooden part of the pommel is the grip. It's not perfectly balanced, but it's not bad. However, for practice it's just fine. The sheath traditionally is made from hardwood. The bottom of the sheath has a metal protection, and the part that holds the carrying handle, of course, on the top also has a metal protection. The sheath traditionally could also be used as a weapon. In the beginning movement of Tai Chi sword, the sword is kept to the back and the sheath can be used on the right side. Today I'd like to teach the 4th part of a series on the Wild Goose forms. This form is called tapping and striking the meridians while walking the Bagua circle. The form is very useful if you have been hospitalized or recovering from health, because the idea is to stimulate the meridians and the chi flow, and to release what we may call dirty human electricity into the earth and take in the natural magnetic and electrical stimulus from nature. So again, you would practice in nature, maybe early in the morning when the weather's fine, and this is the best time to do it, of course. To get the full benefit, you need to practice the form maybe 2 or 3 times. Now, as the 4th video in the series I've been doing over this lockdown period, this one is quite a well-known form. It's called the Wild Goose, tapping the meridians, striking the meridians, and walking the Bagua circle. This one is commonly used in hospitals all over Southeast Asia and mainland China, Taiwan, also in Japan and Korea. The idea is that patients recover themselves by going out into nature, breathing, taking the energy from nature, releasing negative, what we Chinese call negative qi, or what we might call in the West negative magnetic energy, into the earth, taking clean energy from the sky and from nature around us, from various flowers, trees and bushes. Not all of them, by the way, are give us really good energy. You have to feel that out for yourself. So you start off, you take the pose, bring the chi down, and again, if you've been practicing from our previous videos, you'll know that the Laogong point in the center of the palms is really important. So in this form, to start, you bring the Laogong point to this point here. It's the depression on the buttocks on the side, and you strike the Laogong. You strike with your Laogong point into the depression 3 times like this. That's the start of the form. So I'll repeat that again. So you come out, slap, and you go down your legs, hit your ankles, come up, inside, come to the bottom of your rib cage, and relax. Drop the left hand, bring the right hand up to your left shoulder, strike the left shoulder, come across the chest, across the sternum, down the rib cage, down to the top of the thigh bone, straight down over the knee to the toe, press. Other side, same movement, strike the top of the shoulder, cross the rib cage, top of the top of the thigh bone, straight down over the knee, and down. When you've completed that, you're still in this position, you turn round, strike the back, and drop. Again from here. On this part, at the end of that part, we just do it once. There's a point here called the Hegu point. It sits between the thumb and the forefinger. This is on a kidney point here. And you strike like this on the kidneys. But relaxed, not a heavy strike. Next part, lift up your left palm. Bring your right hand, strike under your armpit, strike on top of your left shoulder, turn your arm, strike again on your shoulder, come down your arm on the inside to the end. Turn, strike the end of the fingers, wrist, elbow joint, come up, shoulder again, back of the head, top of the head, crown of the head, forehead. Same on the other side this time. Stretch your right hand, relax, come up under the arm, strike on top of the shoulder, turn, strike the shoulder once more, come down, slightly heavier on the elbow, down to the end and strike, turn, come back. Come down. Next part, very relaxed. Your shoulders rotate, your spine rotates. You might feel your knee slightly, the joint in your knee moving, but your feet stay still. But you relax, hips are moving. This is like playing a lute or playing a guitar. And make it poetic. Space under the elbows. It's not like this, it's like this. And relax, just breathe. Just do it for a minute or two. whole finger's moving, trembling. Breathe naturally. That's the first part of the form. Now, in keeping with the tradition of this club, I would like to broaden its appeal, and I would like to, after fall is over, resume lessons. And next year in 2021, I hope to have a conference in which I'm going to try and bring Eastern and Western cultures together through a program, through a series, through a syllabus. I feel it's an important time to do this because one senses that there's a kind of cultural collapse here in the UK. You've witnessed it very recently on the television, we hear on the radio, we read in the newspapers, we sense it all around us. However, we have traditions in the past that have been long buried. It's time to bring out the chivalric ideals again. And so I'm going to try, with your help, to reconstitute an order of chivalry. Now, in saying this, I will tell you I don't have a castle and I don't have a horse. I do have some swords, that's true. I've also got 40 years experience of exploring our past traditions, working with very good teachers, both in the Western arts and in the Chinese arts, and doing my own research, in which I've uncovered many hidden treasures. I'd like to bring them out, and I'd like to help to reconstitute our culture, not in a political way, but in a spiritual way. This can be done. I published a book in 2015 and I'm working on another one. It's time for me to grow and for you to grow. So please join me in 2021 here in the southwest of Scotland. I will hold a 2-day conference. I will invite you. I will invite various groups, and more of this later when the time is appropriate. So right now, go out while the weather is good, practice as much as you can. When you're doing the Wild Goose system, key point is relax, do not force the chi. The body moves, the chi follows. Empty your mind, just enjoy nature and just be smiling, be happy.